Okay. So essentially, the motivation coming into this, I'll throw this to France first. What was your guys' motivation coming into this? Because obviously coming off the World Championships, not only for yourself, Tiff, but for all of Team France. And this could be, Penna could jump in as well, but you guys had a lot of motivation after Germany.
Yeah, of course. Of course, because, you know, it the first year, that the one French lifter win for, you know, a World Championship. So, yeah, you know, this year, Sheffield, I was the only French lifter. So I think it's a little redemption for me and for, you know, all of the nation. So, yeah.
Like, in Germany, were you guys aware that France had not registered a world champion? Like, how quickly did that sink in? A world championships came and went, and this is France. This is not just some smaller nation that's happy to be there. France is a powerhouse in powerlifting, and a world championships came and went without a single world champion. When that actually hit and people were talking, what was the vibe like in France? And then we'll get a little more personal for you, Tiff, because you can go either which way when you take your first loss. And you turned into a monster and did 450 4 times since now. So obviously it worked out. And remember our conversation in the back, and you were like, Ryan, like, I've never lost. And I'm like, you'll get stronger.
Yeah.
I know you went back, talked to Penna. But before we get more personal for yourselves, as France in general, like, when did you guys realize it came and went? We didn't have a single world champion.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if you want to say something.
Yeah, well, like you said, I think this year was weird. I think that's the first Worlds that I didn't attend since 2019. Leah also didn't attend Worlds this year. So from the equipe, Tiff was the only one, essentially. So yeah, that was weird, but we didn't realize it until you told us. You were actually the one who told us, hey, this is the first year France has no world champion. And we're like, that's actually true. That's actually true. So I think obviously from like, we're really proud people, French people. I think also Italian people are really, really proud, obviously. Swedish people too. And, you know, those teams, I think right now, like Sweden has been around forever, almost in powerlifting. Italia is getting on the map. France has been on the map for some years now. So yeah, it really was weird for us to be like, we didn't have a world champion. I think, to be honest, France didn't do well at Worlds this year overall. Like Tiff's performance, yeah, but overall, regardless, I don't think we did as good as the previous years. So yeah, there was some of that. Tiff said it. She was the only lifter to represent France at this Sheffield. Hasn't happened since the first Sheffield, where back then I think Noemi was there, Tiff was there, Jad was there.
Leah
was there too.
You've made appearances?
Yeah, not on the first one, but on the second, third.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, so it was weird. So we needed that redemption, not only for Tiff, for us, but obviously also to re-put France on the map for everybody to notice.
And sticking with France for a second, coming into this Sheffield, once you did find out, we just literally got blanked at Worlds, but we have Tiff. She's coming into Sheffield. And we'll get more personal with you because obviously something changed, and then I'll swing around the table. But how much was that a motivation coming into this, knowing we had no world champions, but if you win Sheffield, it really resets everyone who was dancing on France's grave now. What can they say now? We just came back and won Sheffield. 2025 wasn't amazing. 2026, France starts with a Sheffield win. One win could change the entire narrative. Were you guys thinking about this coming to Sheffield?
I think so. Well, I hope so, because, you know, France never had, you know, a Sheffield champion. This is the first year. So, yeah, I think the year start very, very well, you know, and I think 2026 is gonna be a big year for French lifter. So, yeah.
And Penna, from your point of view, how much was a motivation for yourself to redeem France? A redemption story, not just for Tiff, we'll get into that for a sec, but for France.
Yeah, it really was. I think powerlifting, the funny thing is every powerlifter, like powerlifting is their world. You know, it's not just a hobby. It's not something you do on the side. It's every day, 24 hours a day. So not having like the best representation for a country like ours was tough. And yeah, we had that on the in the back of our heads, because we're like, on the previous years we had Leah, we had Jad, we had Noemi, myself, Tiff obviously was there since day one, but for this year it was like all of Team France was behind Tiff. So it was really important. And every French guys that I saw like the days prior, they were like, oh, we're behind Tiff, go get it. So yeah, and we knew we had good chances to win this year. So it was cool in a way, but at the same time it was like really, really nerve-wracking, because we were like, oh, if we drop the ball, then it's not just us, right? It's we dropped the ball for Team France. So yeah, we really wanted to do good, like you said, because of like Tiff's personal story from these past Worlds, but also we wanted to make France, to put France back in the spotlight.
And you were showing me some of the traction online, social media wise, tons on posts revolving around you. Did you feel the focus, like being a focal point for the entire nation? Because it's true. Usually, France would have their attention split between you, Penna, Leah, Noemi, Jad, whomever. But this time, the entire nation had one focus, and it was you. Did you feel that?
Yeah, I really feel that, because, you know, well, every competition we had a whole team behind us, and this year I'm the only lifter, so I feel the whole team behind me only, and well, it's just such an amazing feeling. But well, it's pretty complicating to feel that, because it's more stressful for me.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I feel very, very strong for that.
Is it because at that point you're not just lifting for yourself?
Yeah.
But like the entire nation.
I know that.
We need this.
I know that.
Yeah. Fair enough. All right. I'm going to get back to you in 1 sec about your personal journey from Worlds to Sheffield. And Penna, I know you got some insight as well. You guys shifted training to get over some humps, mental barriers with specific deadlift. You guys did a lot of work. Yeah. So we'll get back to that in 1 second. I'm going to swing around the table though. Alba, you talked openly on the podcast and had mentioned, so you're very good at rallying from a tough experience. Your first Open Worlds, placed well, top 5, but you were a monster in the juniors. Very transparent, saying, I wasn't used to always having these battles, head-to-head battles. As the juniors, sometimes you would steamroll people because you're very talented. And coming into the Open, your coach, Joey Fleck, said he wanted you to get this exposure for these battles so you get used to it. First Open Worlds, top 5. Second Open Worlds, you win. First Sheffield, you said you had a terrible day in your own, I'm paraphrasing, but you were saying did not enjoy the experience. And while everybody was talking about Megan Scanlon, how she has a redemption arc leading into this Sheffield because she lost at Worlds, you said, excuse me, pardon me, but I have my own story and I'm looking for redemption myself. Do you feel as though you reached that? Obviously, you won the Battle of the 63s, placed second in Sheffield. How was your motivation coming in?
It was really, really high. Like I said, after last Sheffield, it was terrible. Like, it was terrible. The entire prep, the entire competition, just everything. I did not do what I know I'm capable of. And after that, of course, I just split it up. Okay, Worlds, World Games, Sheffield. But the entire year, the focus was still for Sheffield. And I feel like I put that as the goal as well, because I knew that if I focus on beating the other 63s, if I just focus on winning and I have to do X, Y, and Z numbers, I'm not going to do as well as if I'm just focusing on having revenge on myself, because honestly, the only thing you can control is your own performance. So I knew that going in, this is what I need. And I remember like this cut was a little bit harder than normal. So I was doing like the hot bath the night before, and I usually never do that. And I was like, what if this affects my performance? And I'm like, no, man, I can't have another Sheffield. I'm like, my prep has been so good. Like, this is not going to happen. But then I was like thinking, you know what? Even if I have a bad day, I still know that I will have revenge from last year, because the biggest thing is I did not listen when my body was not feeling strong last year. I knew I wasn't strong, and I still like just decided to put like certain numbers on the bar because I wanted the number, but that caused me to lose so many kilos. So now I was like, okay, if you listen to your body and you squeeze out everything you have, which I did on that squat, if I squeeze out everything I have on the day, then I'll still have revenge from last year. I may not be satisfied with the outcome, of course, but I'm still gonna have achieved that goal, and then, you know, I'll just have to have revenge again.
You had mentioned leading into Sheffield, you weren't posting a lot of your training on purpose, so people weren't too sure where you're at. Then you came on the podcast, accidentally said a little too much, and said like, I'm hitting PRs and I'm expecting, and then
I actually never said I hit
Bro,
PRs. I never said I just said that it was going good. I never said I hit PRs.
And then I think on the preview show, I'm like, Alba's hitting PRs. This was. So all the fantasy league is like, Alba's going to win. And she's like, what the shit? But,
I wanted to fly under the radar before that. And then I was like, wow, maybe I should have seen more sad on the podcast.
I just, the vibe was positive. Coming into this prep was good. Were you paying attention to what Meg was doing, Kiara was doing? What were you anticipating from these ladies?
No, I wasn't. I knew, obviously, from Shiara, I wasn't paying attention because I just don't check what people post that much. But I knew she was injured for a silent worker. And then I think, I just saw something quick on her story one time when I was in, and, she still pulled conventional. I was like, okay, maybe she's not fine. But I didn't know. I still counted on her. And then for Meg, obviously, she did the 580. At SBD Austin. So, and that was as a 69, but I was like, I'm always going to expect the best from my competitors. So I was like, people may think she's not going to do the same, or they may think she's going to do better. I'm like, yeah, I'll expect the best, but I just don't control what they're going to do. So it doesn't matter if she does 540, 550, 560, 600. I can't control that. I can only control what I do. So I just try to not keep track of it. Honestly, I knew she was capable, and that kept me going, kept me on my game. I have to want this. But at the same time, the biggest reason I was on my game wasn't because they did well. It was because I did terrible last year, and I don't want that.
Were you coming into this, obviously, like you were saying, you're focusing on yourself to have a good day. But would you prioritize winning the battle over overall ranking? Did you have an overall ranking you wanted to achieve, or were you simply not worried about the battle, not worried about overall ranking, just hit your PRs, whatever happens, you're fine with it?
I can't say that. Of course, I wanted the 63s, and I wanted podium, and of course, I wanted the chance to win as well, but Tiff was amazing. So I always wanted, then I honestly didn't know. All I knew was I'm not going to put a deadlift up that I know that I 100% don't have, because I've done that in the past, but I kind of realized that sometimes if you know you don't have it, you can go out swinging, but it feels like at that time you're more so trying to prove to people that you're not a quitter than actually doing what you can. Because if you know you don't have it, there are some numbers I could load 300, of course. Doesn't mean I'm gonna pull it today in the future. But so I just decided I'm gonna pull exactly what I think I can do, and then we'll just have to make the decision of, if we need a number that I know I won't, we'll take the biggest number that I have. And that's I do kind of regret the last deadlift though, because I do feel initially I was 237.5, but then it moved well, so I may have had 2.5 more, but it wouldn't have made a difference with 2.5 more either. So it was a good choice, but that's where I'm just because 240 is a nice round number.
At the very least, you want to be saying, I had 2.5 more than maybe 2.5 less, I would have got it. Right? So 2020 hindsight.
Yeah.
20 minutes. How about for yourself, Sarah, in you representing Italy, a nation on the rise, obviously. Did you guys come into this with expectations of a podium finish? It was difficult to call. This did not go to script. This was one Sheffield that did not go to script. What were you guys thinking?
Obviously, I want to win. Obviously, the come si dice l'obiettivo? Yeah. The goal was to hit 535, but after the third attempt of squat, I failed the squat. I know it was so difficult, but I also thought, okay, it's impossible to make the podium now because.
Really?
Yeah. I also cry into the elevator when I go down. Then he comes to me and say, "Okay, Sarah, that's okay. It's only 5 kilos, so you can you can do the bench good and the deadlift good, and we can think about the podium." Then we failed also the third attempt. in
Yeah,
bench. And
You're doing the math like, okay, this
I-
isn't working.
yeah. It's the first time that I failed third attempt in squat and also in bench, I think. It's the first time?
Also in South Africa.
Yeah. Okay.
She blocked that out.
And I coming into this competition, I felt so strong. The preparation went so good. So when I failed the third attempt in the squat and also in bench, I was a little bit demotivata, come si dice? Demotivated. Yeah. Then he goes to me and told me, okay, Sarah, the plan was to go for 207.5 for a first attempt in deadlift, but he told me we have to add to 2.5 kilos, so make the first attempt with 210. And because we want to do the world record total in the second attempt of deadlift, of course. So then we made it. We made the world record with the second attempt in deadlift, and then we put what I want and just see what happens. And it went so good.
So you were handling, obviously you're paying attention to what the other ladies are doing. Going into this, were you looking for a podium? And at what point, because obviously, like she was saying, missed a couple lifts, did you always think the podium was in sight? Or do you think it developed as other people missed as well and it kind of opened up?
Okay, so when we were at home before the meet, we were of course aiming for a podium finish. We were really much aware of the fact that, this meet, it's based on world records, and all the lifters there are world champions or very strong lifters anyway. So it's a tough battle, but considering the performance in the World Games, we thought that it was possible to add quite some kilos to the world record. So I saw Tiff, of course, which was very strong, and she hit more than 450 several times. So I said, okay, maybe that's not feasible, but maybe if she does miss something, you never know. But I consider also that as you need to hit world records to get your bags, that's also something very relevant. And as Sarah said, we have made 2.5 more in the deadlift compared to the plan, because I wanted with the second attempt to put in a good position, both for getting, of course, the world record total, and luckily this time there were no other 57, so we did not need to worry about the other 57s, and from there move to something good. And I remember the day before the meet on Friday, we talked in the hotel room. And Sarah told me the preparation in the deadlift was so good, so I thought, okay, maybe this time I can do some mind games to her and get a good deadlift. So when she had the top single of the preparation, she hit 222.5, and I told her, no, Sarah, you need to load more. And I was expecting, of course, her to try 227, but she had 225, and she also destroyed her hands doing that. So I was a little bit worried. And of course, I didn't say anything, but it was blood everywhere, skin destroyed and things like this. And it was just 10 days before the meet.
Oh, no.
But she told me, yeah, don't worry, 4 or 5 days, it will be fine. So I just was silent. So I just was silent. I said, okay, let's hope it ends up good. And it did, because I saw her so confident in the deadlift. I was, of course, very pissed off when she missed squat and bench. But yeah, I think that we have a very good synergy between us, and that really helped a lot, because, this stage for us was completely different from what we were used to before. It was the first time for us. So when you go out there and you see the crowd roaring, that's strange in a way. And of course, when she was asked, do you want music or no music? She said no music, but of course the music didn't stop during the meet. So that was okay. I said no music. Why isn't the music stop? But okay, yeah, it was a fantastic experience. And during the meet, I was thinking, let's put ourselves in the position where we can go for the podium. And when the bench event finished, I did rise the deadlift opener at once. So we were projected third from there. And we were projected third also from the start, because I knew that I was going to rise the deadlift opener. So it was pretty much inside. But this kind of scoring, I think that also for Pana, it was very difficult to, maybe for you not that much, because Tiff was pretty much in the front, but maybe other times you don't really see where you stand at during the meet. We are used with totals. IPF points at World Games was already not so easy, but with this world record percentage, because for example, consider the heavyweight lifters, they are having much bigger jumps than us. So that's not too easy to keep track during the meet. I have quite a mathematical mind, so I was like thinking the whole time, okay, 227.5 could put us in the podium finish also with the missed lift, but it is not easy, because I'm also used to have 2 people behind, me and another guy, and here at Sheffield you can't have your assistant upstairs, and downstairs phone is not working that well, so that's also an additional point, that makes it more complicated, but it's part of the show.
Do you have a Google sheet that you could punch in? I know Penna was equipped with this, that you could punch in the numbers that your competitors did, and it pumps out the percentage for you, and then so you could punch in your numbers, because you're right, coming into this trying to do the totals, and then you have super heavyweights hitting massive jumps, and you're trying to do all the calculations. It's crazy. Did you come with a spreadsheet and the formulas and whatnot, or?
No, man. My spreadsheet is hyphen notes.
Wow!
That's all I use.
Wow! You did an amazing job to get Sarah on the podium like that. Wow, that's tough.
I feel like SBD should deliver one of those spreadsheets to every coach.
Not a bad idea. Moving forward, that's a good request.
Yeah.
But okay, so let's double back to this side of the table. Let's take this back to Germany, which really sparked a change for Turbo Tiff and yourself, Penna. When you first took the very first loss in your entire career, and for most people, it'll never happen like this. Most people lose on the way up, and you don't even call it losing. You're just competing. You're not even expecting to win, most people. But you had never lost. And the first time was a major showdown, world championship title on the line. And if now we could double back, because we know how the story ends, right? It's good. But how that felt, and why this changed your approach mentally, your approach as a coach, and you guys after that leveled up and just started crushing 450 and above and became an entirely different athlete, and how this changed you. And follow-up question. If you hadn't lost in Germany, would you be as strong and as good mentally and physically as you are today?
I don't think so. Well, this is my first, yeah. But the first part of 2025 was not easy for me because I start with a very bad competition at Sheffield 25 because, well, I don't do what I want to do on this competition. I'm also like, Alba, I'm more concentrated by the number and not by what I want to able to do on the day. So yeah, it's not an easy start for a year. After that, I want to do the European Championship, but I can do because I had some female problem. So well, I can do this competition and 3 days before World Championship, I learned that my dad was sick. He has a cancer. So well, it's not a good mood to do a competition.
Right. Sorry to hear, by the way.
Yeah. But he's much better right now.
Okay.
Well, it's okay. This competition was not easy for me because when I was afraid to lose because when you are at this level for all of this year, you know that the play that you have, this is a play that they want to have. So it's not easy, but I think if I'm not losing this competition, I was not able to do what I want to do right now. So, well, I think it's maybe helped me a lot.
Like at the time, I remember talking to you backstage and it was like a shock almost. You lost. It was like, it was new.
Yeah.
You just,
yeah.
And most people don't have to go through it with everybody watching because it's on the way up. But you were a world champion 4 times.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but I want to do 5 times.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. And so in that moment, how long did it take for you first off mentally to turn the corner and get back on track and be like, that's it. We're going to change some things. I'm changing mentally. Like when did that shift happen for you?
Well, one day after, I was like, I will never want to feeling again. That's feeling. I never want to lose again. I know we can, know what we can do on the competition, but I was like, it's impossible. I can't continue like that. So yeah, one day after I was like, no, it's finished.
And then, and Penna, here's the tough thing. If this is a movie, you weren't there. And what did you feel watching it? First off, she was always winning. So when you're not there and she loses, did you feel like, God, I should have been there? Yeah. I got to almost like a I don't know, like a father figure guilt where you're like, my pupil needs me. I wasn't there. And of all times, she's always winning. She'll be fine. Yeah. And then the one time you're not, you're like, this is like an anime show where you're like, okay, what were you feeling initially?
It felt rough because at that moment I had to focus on myself because I had my own quest to accomplish. And so I couldn't be there, not in terms of being physically there, but also mentally. And yeah, like you said, she lost the only worlds where I wasn't at. So, and not saying that my presence there would have been any different in terms of the outcome. I don't know, and we can never know for sure. But just not being there to, for me, coaching is not about, I win, so I coach her. It's when we lose, I still coach her. When we do horrible, I still coach her. When we do great, I still, you know what I mean? So it's a team, and you want to be there for the really, really high moments, but you also want to be there for the very, very low moments. Like also Tiff just said, obviously what happened with her dad, made me even closer to her because I knew what she was going through. And yes, she pretty much went through the same thing that I went through a year prior. So losing worlds, knowing that your dad is not in good health. So, it was very, very tough for me being on the side of all of that. And also, like, you know, we talked a lot with Tiff, and we were both like, you lost yourself. Like you Heather was strong on the day, obviously, but Tiff was stronger on the day. She just was just too fearful, and she was almost afraid to win. And that's what she's saying when she said the next day she was like, it's over. The next day it was, I'm not going to put myself in this situation ever again. Like, I tasted the worst taste that I could possibly taste, and that's some of the things that we worked a lot with. It was really trusting yourself, and if we lose, but we battled like lions, and that's not what happened at Worlds. So that's really the overall lesson that we learned from Worlds this year.
Because like in terms of being there, you even if she's cutting, you cut.
Oh yeah,
Like we talked about this.
I was in the sauna yesterday.
Yeah,
and I was like, oh man, I don't want to do that. I'm not competing.
Like,
Boy, am I
are we
here?
still doing this? Are we still doing this?
Yeah.
But yeah, you guys are like tight. You guys like work together.
Yeah.
You guys hang out as friends. You guys train together. You guys fly all over the place, compete together. If she's cutting, you'll have like 3 people in the sauna cutting with her, just like MMA. They do it. We've talked about this, but it's a tradition in MMA. One of them cuts, you all hop in, all the training partners hop in the sauna and they cut together because it's hell cutting.
Yeah.
I mean, if you guys cut, wait, I'm swinging around here. You guys probably have all had to cut. It's hell. But if it's like, I'm beside you, I'm with you. And talking about like in victory, it means something to be there, but it's when you lose that you feel lost, that you need people the most. And that's kind of got to be the harshest where you're like, never again. I will, it's like we're doubling down now.
Yeah.
As a team, we're doubling down because when you lose is when you look to your side. When you win, it's like, all right, everybody's by your side.
Yeah.
When you lose is when you're looking around like, holy. And I hadn't seen you like that ever, and hopefully I never see you like that again. But you could tell that something was going to turn the corner because you were never going to feel that again.
No, never. I don't want.
Right.
So no, yeah.
Right. And did your approach come as a programming? You were talking a little bit about even your approach for like those numbers. 170 was a deadlift that she had to get over. It became a point like if 170 was loaded as a commentator, I'd be like, oh man. Yeah. And the hit rate wasn't great. And but you guys decided, we got to change the success rate. We're stronger. We got to land these attempts. And you knew there was a mental thing. If it was 169, you think she's good for it. 170, maybe not. And you even talked about squat wise at Sheffield. You purposely loaded the squat 169 because you knew 170 you'll feel, whoa, 169, it's 169.
Yeah.
What is it? It's 169. You got this. Yeah. It's not 170. Yeah. This isn't a question. You have this, so go get it.
That's exactly what we said, yeah.
You were saying how if it wasn't you and you didn't know how Tiff was and it was any other handler, she's going to say, I'm good, load it, I trust you. And that person's going to load, what's the difference? I'll load 170. But she says, I'm good, load whatever. In your heart of hearts, I know you because I've done the same in my own head. 169 is all we need. That's what I'm loading because it'll make it's not 1 kilo. It's a mountain of difference.
Yeah.
And these are the little things you combated, you said.
Yeah, like you said, Tiff and I, we know each other for like 5 years now. We train together almost since day one. So I know exactly how her squat is supposed to move. I know exactly how she's feeling when she's telling me that too. And so I'm not going to lie. Yeah, Tiff won because she went 9 for 9, but she won because she had room in the tank. Like the lifts she did on the platform, she had done those lifts and even more in training and in comp in the months prior. So we knew we didn't need to take any risk. And whenever I had like a glimpse of, maybe she's not as good as, she's hyping herself up in the meet, like, I'm good, load it. And you should do that as an athlete, right? But you also need a handler to be able to watch, that maybe was a bit slower, like on the sticking point. So let's take that into account. But because sometimes some athletes will like hit a sticking point and then they come back up and they extend the knees very, very fast on squat and say, there was room. And it's, nah, man, like the sticking point was hard. So it's a bit of that. And that's really what we did. So whenever she was hitting her seconds, we were like having 20 seconds to discuss it. How do you feel? What do we do? And yeah, my job yesterday was essentially to make sure we don't overreach, because we knew Alba was in reach. We knew also Sarah was there. Brittany was very close too. Like people, I don't know if people didn't do the calculations, but Brittany was essentially like she missed to 95.5, but 300.5 would have placed her first this year. So it was very, very close. We knew Tiff's strengths, and the problem when you're the lightest lifter to compete is she'll do her first attempt on deads, and everybody knows exactly what they need to hit. Essentially. So that was also rough. But yeah, the goal was that, and learning about the previous failures, and I think that's where being able to be there for her yesterday. It was my own personal redemption for not being there for Worlds 2025, I would say.
You more than made up, my friend. You more than made up. No one questions you in terms of that. And the going in, people would point to, if anything, the hit rate in terms of like landing successful attempts. Yeah. And you had said you even adjusted and like, look, I'm going to attempt selection. Everything had room. There was no like big grinders on the second, no miss attempts on third, no 6 for 9s. It was clean. You guys as a whole leveled up strength, attempt selection, everything, mentally, the whole nine. Did your approach in terms of handling change where you're like, we're leaving a little bit of room? If I think we don't need it, we'll just take what we think we need?
So what changed was Tiff is stronger this year than she ever has been. So the years prior, you know, I can't be a good coach and a good handler and tell her, hey, well, we're shooting for 8th place. That's not how it works, right? You're like they had the mindset to podium, whatever was the cost. And why did she fail her third squat and her third bench? Because they needed to take a risk in order to be in good contention. That's something people don't realize. And, you know, I don't want to bash anybody, Matt Gary. So going 9 for 9. Hey, shots fired. Going 9 for 9 is cool, but sometimes you can go 9 for 9 because you're ahead. And you don't need to take risks. Before, Tiff 170 or 169 would have been a big ask. You know, it was like top end strength, good high, perfect day. Right now, with Tiff's level of strength, 169 is like she can hit it almost any comp, I want to say. So that's what's changed the most is we didn't need to take those crazy risks that we needed to take the years prior because Tiff is now stronger. And she's hit more than what she hit on the bench in training yesterday. But we were like, that's what we need on the day off. And that's what we're sure you'll make 100% of the time. So that's how the approach changed. It's because Tiff was stronger, then we didn't need to be as aggressive as we needed the years prior. But the years prior, I would have done the same thing. And I'm sure Tiff would too. We don't want to aim for, you go 9 for 9 and you're 10th. Cool. Good job, man. You can write that on your resume. 9 for 9, 27 white lights. Yeah, that's not the goal of the sport. The goal of the sport is how strong are you? How much closer can we get to your absolute top end without missing? And if you miss, it's because sometimes you have to take risks because all of those ladies on the male side as well, those are phenomenal lifters and you cannot win a powerlifting competition without taking any risk at all. That doesn't happen.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, this is coming from a guy who came in nominated 4th, and you have to take risks. If you're nominated 4th, you're behind. You have to extend on those thirds, and things will get ugly, but you have no choice. Load it up. Where are we at? Fair enough, right? And if you're way stronger, I mean, yeah, you skate through 9 for 9. It is what it is. Alba, so in terms of how your day went out and played out, is this what you would expected? 582.5 for 63 is absolutely, we were just talking earlier actually, Jessica Bittner was winning the 76 kilo class in 2022 against, I got the shit go no less, with 585. Here we are a few years later, and as a 63, you're doing 582.5. Is this the type of goals and type of numbers that you were looking for Sheffield and you thought were on the table for you?
Yes.
And how far do you think you can extend? Is 600 reaching too far for you, do you think?
Of course, 600 is a goal. I mean, of course. Like, for me, Agata was almost at 63, and she did 612. So for me, it's like I'm still 30 kilos behind. That's not good enough, in a sense. So I feel like the 63, she showed that it's possible the 63s can do more. All I know is like, okay, for initially now, I'll just take a head and bench probably because I mean, yeah, they haven't changed the rule, but it's gonna come. I'm pretty sure of it. Yeah, it's like a 99.9999 chance that it's coming. So I'll just have to adjust for that, see. But I feel like I've improved so much on deadlift and on squats. I was most excited for those more than bench this time. I was like bench, I was like but for squat and deadlift, I was really excited because I knew I would be doing PRs, and yeah.
During this competition, were you looking to your left and right, and did you see that? Well, first off, you knew Chiara had some injuries coming in. Yeah, she was pulling conventional in prep and pulling conventional on the day. So, and she was relatively open about it. Even on the preview show, I asked for an update, and she said, not 100%, but not injured enough to pull out. So we'll see. But that's not probably going to contest with you in terms of upsetting you. Were you paying attention to Meg, though, who 1 for 3 in bench, 1 for 3 in squat? And did you realize, okay, this battle's turning into essentially a one-person race?
I did kind of know it. Like, I don't really keep track of my competitors during competition. But then at the same time, like, I was warming up right, like, before, like, Chiara was just before me. And I was like, she's squatting narrow. Okay, something's up. And then for Meg, it was just like she opened before me. And I was like, what? And so, like, but then she did jump the same as me. And I could just, like, kind of, because Meg was always, like, right after or before, I kind of, like, could tell what the attempts, like, how they turned out. So I feel like even though I tried to not pay attention, it's like you could just, like, see, okay, you know, someone doesn't look like that pleased. Okay, you kind of hear something, okay, no, or, like, so I didn't know exactly what happened, but I kind of knew for squats that I just had a gut feeling. I didn't know what she hit, but I felt like, okay, I don't think she hit like 210. And for bench, I knew that just because like she was out before me on bench on the second one, and I really expected her to be after me. And so I knew that, okay, at this point, just because I know what I was capable in deadlift. Because at deadlift, I knew I was maybe good because I did 237.5 in training. And so I just knew that I had the big deadlifts. And so because we were probably very close on squat, even though she may have had a lead, I feel like, okay, I think I got this now. But at the same time, the 63s is, of course, I want to win it because I'm a 63, it's my class. But I was still like, I never let it sell it because I wanted to win, of course, as well. So I was just looking for that at that moment, pretty much.
How do you compare this podiuming at Sheffield and winning the battle of 63s at the same time to your world's win in Chemnitz, Germany?
I rate this higher, not just because it's more prestigious, because I was an even better lifter. And I prefer better. But at the same time, like, as soon as I hit a PR total, I'm always going to be like, now I'm better. Now this is the best experience. As soon as as long as I'm like stronger. And Worlds was amazing. But at the same time, I was a little bit frustrated because it was overall good that the total became what it went. But I was a bit frustrated because I felt like I wanted more. I don't know why. But for some reason for Worlds, I was happy. But at the same time, not happy because the prep was amazing and I was really happy about that. But it was just I couldn't feel joy. I felt like I had more, and like it almost felt like I lost. I don't know why, but I felt like I lost at Worlds, but I won. Yeah, I don't probably also because Agata did what she did, and I'm like, no, not done yet.
Yeah, fair
that's
enough.
like the only thing. So I feel like okay, I just need to do more.
And Sarah, for yourself, obviously, Evie Corrigan moved up into the 57s, but she's brand new into the 57 kilo class, hasn't fully developed into it. So you weren't technically lifting unopposed, but the competitors that you're used to seeing at the World Championships weren't there. You were the sole 57 lifter that qualified from the World Championships. How did that feel different for you, lifting at Sheffield, knowing that those other competitors that were such big threats at Worlds weren't there? how did the experience overall? Because you are competing, you ended up on the podium, but it wasn't direct head to head in 57s. And some people, I don't know if this analogy works, feel like it's an all-star game as opposed to a normal season game. If you follow sports with all-stars like basketball, hockey, etc. How did it feel for you in comparison?
For me, take the podium at Sheffield is the best thing I have ever done in my career.
Oh, wow.
Last year I won Worlds and it was such a beautiful competition with beautiful girls. I love compete with Jed and Joy. But yesterday I really set really set my standard higher. Cause going into deadlift with only 2 squat and 2 bench gave me something more than in the other competition. And going into Worlds this year, I don't know. I think I will only do my best as always, and it doesn't matter who will take the competition with me. I don't know if you understand me.
No, I got you.
Okay.
And in this competition, you would face some adversity despite the fact that those other world's competitors didn't come as well. But like you had said, you missed a squat, had to break down emotionally, came back and kept going. Missed the bench. And I'm sure that rattled you, came back again and kept coming back. So how much do you think you matured as an athlete, tasting that adversity? So if it happens again at the World Championships and you miss a lift, it's like, I've been here. It's okay. I could still win.
Yeah, obviously, non so come dirlo, cioè sicuramente più rilassante, nel senso sapere di non avere tutta questa rivalità.
And she wants to say that, of course, it's better that in this competition she did not have direct rivals, and it also helped, of course, to do this path. But it is good because now, as you said, she will feel, okay, I've been here, I can handle it, and I can still win and do a good competition.
And you're sticking 57. This is like your home. How easy a cut was it? How strong do you feel at 57? And is this going to be where you're going to rest at?
Yeah, I will say in 57. The cut was so easy. The day before competition, I eat normal. So the cut, went so good. The prep went so good. I feel so strong. I felt so strong. So I think as a 57.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
So for yourself, Tiff, where do you rank this victory given everything that happened leading into it? You got so many wins. So to compare it, but this win is different. Like if this is a movie, it was the perfect redemption story, right?
Yeah,
like if you're
course.
scripting it,
Yeah.
where do you rank it?
Well, I think it's an amazing thing to win after you lose something, because I lose my world title in June, and now I win Sheffield in the same category class with a big total. And, it's the first time that I was in a 47 category class since the World Championship. So I think it's more officially right now. I can do 450. So, yeah.
And I mean, there's a couple people here, not in this room, but at this event that did not have the day they wanted. And in their mind, they lost. There's a few people here that are upset with how it happened. And what would you tell those people or anybody watching about losing and how losing isn't final and ironically enough might be the best thing for you?
Yeah, of course. I think it's more easy right now to say that because well,
That's a fact.
but I think it's a really help things in the career for an athlete. And well, I don't know if I can say we need to do to leave this, but well, I think it's not the final things. You can do so much better after that. So yeah.
I mean, you learn a lot more after a
yeah.
loss.
Oh yeah.
And you will grow a lot more after a loss.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you compare every single time you won, how much did you grow mentally, physically? And then compare after you lost, how much did you grow mentally and physically? Is it even comparable?
No, it's not comparable. But I think maybe I learned so much after I lose than things I win. Well, I think it's it's a good lesson. It's a good lesson to lose. So yeah, I think it's
And not only that, but when you're always winning, that's one thing. Like it feels good, but when you lose and you feel what losing feels like, then when you win, it's a lot more sweeter, isn't it? You can't take it for granted.
Of course.
Right.
Of course. Yeah.
Right.
Of course.
So you and Penna were talking to me last night. What are some of the goals you have now? You've been a 47 forever. You've World Games, tons of World Championships, Sheffield now. It was between you and Heather when she won the title. It's probably still, you have more titles, but there was still contentious. Like, is she the GOAT? Are you the GOAT? Because her resume got bumped up from that. And then it was like, whoever wins this is the GOAT. Now you're the GOAT.
Yeah.
So you're checking all the boxes. Yeah. You've done a lot at 47. What more do you want to do at 47? Or is it, no, I'm a 47 for here on out? What's the future for you?
Well, this year I want to compete in 47 category class, of course, because I want to win the World Championship in June. I don't want to go without a win. So yeah, I want the crown of 47. And after that, I hope I be there in November for Sheffield 5. And I want to do the 10s bodyweight. Sorry,
the first woman to do 10 times body weight.
Yeah.
470 kilos. So Penna, you were saying you were crunching numbers, and this isn't crazy. This is within reach.
Yeah. So one thing that I said that people maybe don't know is one of the main reasons as to why Tiff's deadlift wasn't like growing is because she had an injury that was going on for quite some time and simply wouldn't allow us to train the deadlift. Like she would go do worlds, like for example, Worlds 23, she maybe did like 5 training sessions on deadlifts within like 2 blocks, whatever. So it's much better now. It's been much better for months. And that's where the deadlift growth is coming from. It didn't come from nothing. It came from like some technical work, but also she can now properly train her deadlift. Not 100% yet, but we can do some deadlift training. So yeah, yesterday I think she was good for 455 to maybe top end 458. So 470 by November, we're looking at 12 to 15 kilo jump increase, which is hard, obviously, on like a 40 kg total in terms of like 450-ish, but it's doable. So, and I think that would put her in a good spot also for a Sheffield podium next year, if not another victory. Everybody remembers firsts. And if you're the first woman to do 10 times body weight, and you do back-to-back Sheffields, and here's the thing, and these ladies are like, well, we got something to say about that, but they're very polite, but you would be the only person to be able to win 2 Sheffields in 1 year.
because
Oh,
that'll
yeah.
never happen
Yeah.
again
Oh, yeah,
by
yeah.
default,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Right? Not
Yeah,
bad.
yeah.
You guys all can say, like, if I get on the podium, the only one that could do it within the same year.
Yeah.
But let's say, so for sure, 10 times body weight, that's not crazy. In your mind's eye, do you leave 47s without doing it? Like, would you extend your stay as a 47 in Hunt to that because you're relatively close?
Yeah.
Let's say, okay.
Yeah. No, I want to do the 10s body weights.
Okay.
And I think I didn't want to leave my category class before I do this.
Okay.
So yeah.
And then after that, like, is the cut to 47 difficult, or you're just looking for take on more challenges and what the heck? Let's move up.
I can continue to this category class because my cut, it was pretty simple, but I think for much match or everything, I think I can go in a 52 category class. So yeah, maybe.
I mean, if you do 470 and the world record now, Megan Lee Smith did 490.5.
Yeah.
I mean, you're starting to get reasonably striking distance close as a 47. Yeah. All indications. What the heck? Let's see if we got 2 world titles in this, huh?
Yeah.
Let's rock and roll like our boy over here. Well, listen, guys, super duper appreciated. We ran a little bit late, so we got a stitch tight for time, but I appreciate you guys coming in here. I know it's difficult. The caffeine is high, the adrenaline's high, and we haven't all slept. I know I haven't, but thank you. Congratulations on your guys' performance. You guys did amazing. Wonderful performances. Can't wait to see you guys in Saudi Arabia or Dubai. Sorry.
Yeah.
Dubai, Saudi Arabia. Well, maybe there too. Who knows, right? But I'll see you guys in Dubai, and everybody watching, please do come back in 10, 15 minutes, unless we're going to stretch it a stitch later. No, Ramsey's saying we're on time. 1 o'clock, we will have the men's podium. Until next time, 6-pack Lapadat, 6 up, and we are out.